Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for December 9th, 2011. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino, and this is the final day of the week. It is Friday, and we are ready for the weekend. Looks like it's going to be another great weekend for the New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan area, but first we'll start off with the morning temperatures. For today, we are starting off on the chilly side with temperatures ranging from the mid-20s down to the lower 30s. So clearly we're dealing with some much colder temperatures. Watch out for some black ice out there with these temperatures being so cold. You get a little bit of water hanging out on your driveway or sidewalk, and then you get these below freezing temperatures, and you end up with a little bit of black ice. So be careful out there. Other than that, we're dealing with rather tranquil weather conditions. High pressure is moving off the coast, and as a result, we'll eventually end up with a southwesterly wind by this afternoon, which will allow us to warm up into the mid 40s to upper 40s over the interior and lower 50s along the coast and urban locations like New York City and Philadelphia. So let's take a look at the infrared satellite picture. Well, see all this blue here? This is actually cold air. You see, an infrared satellite picture basically takes the temperature of the cloud tops. The higher the cloud top, the colder the temperature. However, when it gets cold out, unfortunately you end up with a lot of blue here because the ground temperature is so cold that it looks like a lot of low clouds, but in reality it's just some cold air. Taking that into account, that's why you have to look at observations. Here is where your cloud shield is, right here with this stationary front and a little bit of a disturbance back here in the central plains. Now the good news is that the stationary front and the majority of the upper level lifting with it is moving towards the St. Lawrence River Valley and towards New England. So what that will mean is that when this cold front does move through tomorrow, it won't produce much in the way of any precipitation. There's basically a little bit of an increase in clouds and a wind shift from the southwest to the northwest. Otherwise, temperatures are going to be much colder tomorrow. Say goodbye to any lower 50s and say hello to lower to mid 40s throughout the entire northern mid-Atlantic. I wouldn't be surprised if portions of northwestern New Jersey, northeastern Pennsylvania, and the Hudson River Valley are stuck in the upper 30s. In fact, that wouldn't surprise me one bit, especially in some of those more secluded valleys and areas where you can get that cold air trapped. So again, here we are. We have this high pressure leaves, this cold front moves through, this high pressure settles over for Saturday night into Sunday, providing tranquil weather conditions and chilly weather conditions as temperatures remain slightly below normal. Okay, so what else is going on for the upcoming week? Well, it's going to get pretty interesting. Moving on for the long range, for the weather forecast here on the European model guidance. I want to take you through, I want to use the European model guidance because I think A is performing the best as far as the Pacific pattern, and what goes on in the Pacific this year is going to influence what goes on in our neck of the woods. So again, that's handling pretty well for this weekend. We have high pressure in control. That continues on into Monday with tranquil weather conditions. Now a cold front will attempt to move through on Tuesday with a few scattered showers. It will finally do so on Wednesday. And then high pressure is going to build in Wednesday night with some cooler weather conditions. Again, no major storms are on the horizon for the next 5 days. However, as we move towards the end of this forecast period, we start to evolve into a much colder and more active weather pattern. We have our low pressure system that drives into the western Great Lakes. This will eventually move towards the St. Lawrence River Valley. This high pressure system will give way to this cold front, so Thursday will remain dry, but as we move into a long range pattern here, by Friday of next week, that Arctic cold front is going to move through. Look for rain showers changing over to snow showers and much colder air building in. And with that setting up, by next week, by next weekend really, we're going to set up a very interesting pattern where we're going to get very cold in the northern mid-Atlantic, much colder than what we've been used to over the past few weeks. But we're also going to develop a very dynamic and very impressive thermal gradient. Temperatures are going to be much warmer, let's say, over Delaware than they will be over, let's say, central New Jersey. Much warmer. We could be dealing with a 6-7 degree thermal gradient setting up over the mid-Atlantic, and it's going to get pretty interesting next week exactly how this whole entire pattern evolves. And I don't think the models are going to handle this very well, but the signs are there for a very interesting and complicated weather pattern developing for the northern mid-Atlantic as we head towards Christmas week and actually the first true day of winter. So that is your forecast discussion for today. I hope everyone has an excellent weekend. As always, you can follow the latest weather discussions and information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter and Facebook. As always, have a wonderful weekend and stay safe out there.